Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of this Trophy Guide and walkthrough for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me, and a special thank you to all of the channel members. Now let's go ahead and get started. Starting off from the expedition flag, we're going to follow this cliff all the way over toward the left, and when we get over there, then we're going to be able to pick up some chroma off the ground.
You can use that.
After that, we'll turn further toward the left and go down the flowery path, and on the left-hand side is going to be some more chroma that we can pick up.
We can use that.
And now we're going to turn further toward the right, and we're going to follow those flowers as we go even further away from the expedition flag. You'll see that there's a Lancelier enemy marching around here. Let's run over to him and get in a fight. This is only one Lancelier enemy, and he's very easy to take out. Remember, these guys can attack 3 different ways: slowly, quickly, or a 2-hit combo. If you can parry it, you'll do significant damage against them, and then he's very easy to take down. We're just going to take one shot into his weak point, and that will be the end of the fight. Now at this point, because we've completed 4 battles with the Dodger Pictos equipped, we've now mastered that, and we can now assign that Lumina's passive ability onto other characters. Let's continue going forward, and we can pick up even more chroma off the ground, and then we want to turn toward the right, and we can find a grapple point that will take us up to a higher elevation. We'll continue going forward and then use another grapple point to cross this gap, and then continue following the path forward. We'll keep going until we can use another grapple point. Remember that pressing R1 is how you can initiate combat and get a first strike if you hit the enemy outside of battle. And that comes in handy because up ahead we do have another Mime enemy that we want to take down. So let's go ahead and get in a fight with this guy. As always, the Mime is going to put up a wall in front of him, and he'll take very little damage until we can break his guard. The best way to break his guard is to build up some overcharge charges, so we can use the Luminaire Assault skill with Gustav to start generating those charges. Now on Luna's turn, we're going to use her skill, Immolation, to deal low fire damage to the enemy and apply 3 burn to him. Burn is a status effect that deals damage at the beginning of the character's turn. It is possible to be affected by multiple instances of burn, which increases the burn damage received. The Mime will use either a 3-hit hand-to-hand combo or a 4-hit strange combo. I highly recommend trying to parry that if possible to deal a little extra damage and start to build up that break gauge under his health bar a little bit more. With Gustav's next turn, we're just going to use a normal attack. And then with Luna, we're going to use another Immolation skill to stack even more burns on him.
Feel the burn.
Here comes that 4-hit strange combo, and unfortunately I did not parry all 4 of the attacks, so I don't get to use the counter. I also am affected with silence now because I got hit with that strange combo, so I can't use any skills. I'm just going to use a normal attack with Gustav, and then we'll use yet another Immolation with Luna. And now he's got 9 stacks of burn, so he's going to start taking some more damage every turn. We'll dodge some more of his attacks, and then with Gustav, our overcharge gauge is now full, and we have enough AP, and we're not silenced, so let's go ahead and use that overcharge skill to break him, and then he won't have nearly as much defense, and then it should only be a short time before we win the fight. And now with Luna, we're going to use Immolation again so that we can reapply some more burning onto him, and you'll see just how much damage we can do passively thanks to those burns. In fact, he took over 350 damage just from the burns alone. With Gustav, we're going to use another Luminaire Assault to hit him 5 times and do some decent damage, but again, most of our damage is coming through those burns at this point. And speaking of burns, we'll have Luna use yet another Immolation to reapply some more burns, and then when it's the Mime's turn, it's going to tick away all of that burn damage, and he will be defeated. As for the rewards, we'll get 30 XP or 20% more if you happen to do that without taking any damage, and we did master the critical burn Pictos, so we're able to equip that onto new characters, and we also get some new outfits unlocked for our characters. After the fight with the Mime, then what we want to do is to turn around and head back the way that we came. So we'll follow the path of brightly colored flowers, and then we'll have to use a couple grapples to get back to the main part where we fought the previous Lancelier enemy. Now that we're back to where we fought the Lancelier enemy, let's continue to go forward until we can return to the expedition flag where we began this episode. We'll interact with the flag, and because Luna has reached level 3, we've got a few more attribute points to assign to her. So we'll choose the upgrade attributes option, and then we're going to go over toward her screen, and we're going to put her 3 points into the might stat. Once you're all done with that, you can go ahead and close the menu, and we'll continue to go forward, and you'll notice that the Portier enemy that we defeated at the end of the last episode has respawned, and that's because when you rest at one of those expedition flags, the enemies in the area respawn, allowing you to farm out additional experience or chroma or items if you want to. For the most part though, we're not going to do that, we're just going to continue on with the game. Remember to shoot its weak point right in the middle of its body, and then you can go ahead and attack it with a marking shot. Mark is a status effect that increases the next damage received by the character by 50%. Mark only affects one instance of damage, which means if you attack multiple times, it only applies to the very first time it takes damage in that multi-hit attack. Let's go ahead and use Ice Lance, and we should be able to finish it off thanks to the bonus damage that we did with Mark. After the battle, we're going to keep going forward and a little bit toward the left, and you'll see that there's going to be a purple item on the ground. Let's pick that up, and it's going to be a color of Lumina. After that, we'll turn further toward the left, and we're going to go around the large rock structure, and amidst all these broken crates, we can pick up another purple item. This is a Chroma Catalyst. Now let's turn around, and we're going to run along the path and over toward the left. If you press X, you can climb up onto this ledge. Let's continue forward while going under this toppled pillar, and we'll keep going up the path. At the top, you'll get a brief cutscene and you'll be ambushed by some monsters. These enemies are called Volesters. There's 3 of them, and they begin by doing 2 attacks against you, so right at the beginning of the battle, be on guard so that you can either dodge or parry their attacks. Volesters are a group of enemies called flying enemies which evade most damage from attacks or skills, and shooting is more effective against them, so we'll try to shoot at the Volester by pressing L2 to go into our aiming mode, and then we'll try to shoot their weak points, which are the glowing blue orbs where their heads look like they should be. Remember that every time you take a shot, you're using up 1 AP, so at most you've got 4 shots to begin the fight with, and that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for using skills. But using skills or normal attacks will probably miss anyway. You can see that they're very good at dodging, so instead you really do just want to focus on using those free aim shots. Let's go ahead and attack this enemy. We'll be able to take it out with about 2 additional shots, and then we'll move on to the next enemy and take this one out too, leaving only 1 remaining. Even if you completely run out of AP with those free aim shots, you're still able to do 1 more basic attack against the enemy, but good luck getting it to actually hit. After the enemy takes 1 more turn, we'll go ahead and finish him off. We can just have Gustav take a couple shots, and the battle's over. After the fight, we'll proceed forward and we're going to ignore that golden rope on the left for right now. Instead, we'll go toward the right and we're going to find a large chromatic Lancelier. This is a boss, and if we can beat it without taking any damage, then we're going to be able to get another trophy. Luckily, these Lancelier enemies attack the same way that the other ones have, so we have a pretty good understanding of the timing of their attacks. We'll begin the fight with Gustav using a marking shot against the chromatic Lancelier, and then with Luna, we're going to go ahead and use the free aim shot to hit its weak point and do lots of damage thanks to the bonus damage with the mark. After that, we'll use Luna's skill Immolation to deal damage as well as inflict it with a burn. And that burn will cause about 100 additional free damage for us. When the Lancelier attacks quickly, just get ready to dodge it. If it attacks slowly, wait for a second, and if it attacks normally, then you have to be prepared for that 2-hit combo. For the purposes of getting the trophy, I would recommend just trying to dodge instead of parry because the window to dodge is significantly longer than the parry window. On Gustav's next turn, we'll use Luminaire Assault. And then Luna is going to use another Immolation to stack even more burns onto him. If you do happen to make a mistake and take some damage, just open up the menu and choose to load the previous save. That will take you back to just after the Volester fight that we completed, and then you just have to run back down the hill toward the right and then challenge the enemy again. Now with Gustav, we've almost maxed out our overcharge gauge, but if I use any skills, I won't have enough AP on the next turn to use overcharge. So instead, we'll just use a normal attack. We'll do a little damage, we'll max out the overcharge gauge, and we'll also have enough AP on our next turn. Luna's kind of in the same position where we don't have any AP to use, so we'll just use a normal attack. Luckily, the enemy is still burned and will continue to take burn damage, and it's especially good when the enemy gets multiple turns in a row. We'll have to be careful about dodging, but the enemy will take continuous burns when it has multiple turns in a row. It's time to finish the fight. We've got a maxed out overcharge gauge and enough AP to actually use overcharge, so let's go ahead and hit him with it, and then we'll win the fight. When we defeat the boss without taking any damage, we get the Professional Trophy. We also get 20% more experience, meaning that our characters are now level 4, and we also get some really good loot, 540 Chroma. We got our Lance Ram weapon for Gustav to go up to level 2, and we also get a new Pictos that we can equip onto our character called Augmented Attack, which deals 50% increased base attack damage. In addition to those rewards, we can also get other items, such as the Chroma Catalyst, allowing us to upgrade our weapons to level 3 while at camp, and the Color of Lumina. We got 5 of those to give ourselves additional Lumina points. After the fight, we'll go forward and we can pick up some more Chroma off the ground, and then we can turn around and head back the way that we came. We'll stick over toward the right-hand side, and now we'll go up the golden rope.
Something's disrupting the chroma around here. Be careful.
We'll move forward and stick toward the left of the glowing tree. We can hop down this ledge, and on the left side is some more chroma that we can pick up.
Well, that will help.
Now let's head back up the cliff. Remember to hit the X button in order to climb, and then stick over toward the left side, wrapping around the tree, and you'll be able to use a grapple point to go across the gap. Continue going forward and stick over toward the left-hand side. You'll see that there's another Portier enemy over on the right. Let's go ahead and fight him. This enemy comes with 2 friends. He also has a Lancelier and a Volester along with him. Let's start by having Gustav go into free aim mode, and we want to start attacking the enemy's weak points. Beginning with the enemy on the right, the Volester, we're going to attack its weak point and then give it a couple more shots to finish it off. Then we'll go over toward the left to find the Lancelier, and we'll shoot him in his weak point. After that, we can still use a normal attack, and we'll aim at the Lancelier, doing lots of damage to him.
The storm is
Now with Luna, we're also going to go into free aim mode and we'll attack the Portier's weakness right in the middle of its body. You can attack it another time if you want to, just for fun, but make sure that you save one shot to finish off that Lancelier. After that, we're going to use her normal attack. Now the enemy gets a chance to attack. It's a pretty easy thing to dodge. If you happen to parry it, you'll probably end the fight right there. But even if you don't, you can just finish him off very quickly. I'll have Gustav go into his skills and we'll use Lumiere Assault, and that should be just enough damage to finish him off. If not, you can just have Luna finish the fight. Thanks to that 20% bonus experience, both characters are inching closer toward level 5. After the fight, we can continue going forward, and on the left side by some broken boxes and barrels, we can grab some more chroma off the ground. Now let's turn around and go back the way that we came. On the left side in the distance, you'll see that there's something that looks like a street lamp. Let's go over in that direction, and then we can climb up the wall just past it.
Someone came here before and set up these handholds.
Probably Expedition 69. The Climbers Expedition.
Let us thank them for that.
When you get to the end of the tunnel, you'll get a cutscene.
Something's wrong with it. Why isn't it attacking us?
Well, it certainly attacked them. An expedition journal. 81. Learn from the ones who came before.
And lay the trail for the ones who come after.
Expedition 81, René. Huge discovery. This is the first Nevron with whom we've been able to communicate. It seems stuck in this cave. Gregoire is, as usual, deeply suspicious, but this could change our entire understanding of Nevrons and the Painters.
They communicated with a Nevron.
The dead here don't disappear like in Lumia. Their chroma stays inside their bodies.
On the beach, some did disappear.
He wasn't a Nevron.
Something about the way Nevrons kill seems to affect our chroma.
Perhaps your friend here can enlighten us.
Enlighten. Light. I need a light.
It really does speak.
What do you mean, light?
Did you kill these people?
I would never plunge others into darkness. I was painted to bring light.
Painted? By the Painters?
Paintress? Yes, she painted me. Help me find light.
If we bring it light, perhaps we can learn more.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
So while this is a Nevron, and technically Nevrons are our enemies, we may not attack this thing at all, because if we do, we will miss out on a trophy.
Your light. O mistress, I sit in darkness, awaiting your light.
You mean the Paintress? What does she want you to do?
She marked a path that we must walk, but here I sit in darkness. Without light, I cannot follow her.
Follow where? What kind of light?
A pure light. I must bring forth a flame that lights the path forward.
Something flammable, then.
Shine. I need to shine.
These friendlier Nevrons actually give us quests that we need to complete in order to get a trophy. If you run around toward the left, you can use another expedition flag. Let's go ahead and go to the upgrade attributes option to give ourselves another boost to our might stat. Starting with Gustav, we'll give him 3 more points into might, raising his total up to 12. And then over to Luna, we can do the same, raising her total might up to 12 as well. Once you're done upgrading your attributes, you can close out of that menu and then go to rest to get your health back. Now we can leave the expedition flag and we'll head over toward the left. And we're going to follow these bright flowers.
Flares!
Survivors.
Hurry!
Let's stick toward the right-hand side and we're going to follow the bright flowers as we go all the way down to the end of this path. And on the left side, amidst some broken boxes, we can pick up another Pictos called Dead Energy 2. We get plus 3 AP on killing an enemy. Now let's follow the path back the way we came until we get back to the entrance of the cave where we saw that large white friendlier Nevron. Back at the cave entrance, turn toward the right and follow the flowers down, and ahead of you you're going to see another Pictos on the ground. We'll pick it up to get burning shots, a 20% chance to burn on free aim shots. After that we'll turn around and we're going to head down the path. There's a new enemy ahead called an Abeest. Let's go ahead and fight these guys. These guys have a pretty obvious weak point right in the middle of their body, but they can be protected by the metal bars that form the rest of its body. But if your aim is good, you should be able to shoot those weak points and you'll take away about half of their health. After that, we're just going to have Gustav use his marking shot, and that should be strong enough to take out one of these monsters.
Take him down.
Let the ink flow.
After that, we'll have Luna use her immolation skill to damage the enemy as well as inflict it with a burn. Even if immolation isn't strong enough to kill the enemy outright, the burn should finish him off and you'll win before the enemy even has a chance to move. And as a reward for this fight, we get a new weapon for Luna called the Lighterim. It has a base attack power of 39 and the fire element associated with it. It scales its damage with both the defense and agility stats. We want to equip that new weapon onto Luna, so let's open up the menu and then go into our character overview screen. We'll select Luna, and we can see that her Lunarim weapon currently has that fire attribute, but it only does 36 damage. The Lighterim, however, will do 41 damage thanks to our stats, so let's go ahead and equip that for a nice little boost to our damage. You can also see that as the weapon increases in level and keeps getting upgraded, we will get additional skills that are passive abilities, which can be pretty powerful. Now let's have a look at our Pictos, and we want to assign some new Pictos onto both Luna and Gustav. We want to keep critical burn on her, but we will also give her burning shots as well as dead energy too. Then we'll go over to Gustav, and we have augmented attack that hasn't been assigned to anyone yet, so we'll go ahead and equip that onto him. After 4 battles, these new Pictos will be mastered and we can assign their passive abilities to other characters via the Lumina points. Now I don't really do that very often in the beginning of the game, but we'll get around to it more later on when you can actually have very powerful builds. After the fight on the right hand side, you can go grab another purple color of Lumina, and then we're going to turn around and start heading back along the path. Let's follow that path forward and a little bit toward the right. There's an upper path and a lower path. I'm going to go down and fight the enemy on the lower path first, and then we'll make our way back to the upper path. We've got another Abbest enemy as well as 2 of those Volesters, so you definitely want to begin by using your free aim to start hitting their weak points. 3 shots should be enough to take out the Volester on the left, and then we can attack the weak point for the Abbest in the middle. We have a new Pictos that gives us a plus 50% damage to our base attack, so we'll just use that against the Abbest and he's gone. Finally, we'll have Luna go into free aim mode, and we're going to take out the other Volester just by using these free aim shots. Take a couple shots and the fight will be over before the enemy can act. Now that the battle's over, let's keep on going. After the battle, let's turn back toward the left. We'll go back up the ramp and then over toward the right-hand side. There's another enemy up ahead. Let's go ahead and take them out. It's going to be pretty similar to the last fight. This battle consists of 1 Lancelier, 1 Abeest, and 1 Volester. We're going to have Gustav attack the weak point of the Lancelier in free aim mode, and then the other 3 shots are going to go into the Volester on the right to take it down. Now that we have no more AP, we can still use a normal attack, and we'll aim for that Lancelier and we'll take him down. Finally, we'll have Luna go into free aim mode, and we're going to attack the Abbest weak point. We'll hit it 1 more time, and then we'll go into our skills menu, and we're going to use an immolation. We'll hurt it, and we're also going to inflict a burn, which should guarantee that it dies. This battle gives us enough experience that both Gustav and Luna get up to level 5. After the fight, let's keep going forward, and there's going to be another purple item on the ground, so let's go ahead and grab that Chroma Catalyst, and then we'll turn back toward the left, and we're going to head back down to that lower path. There is a bridge on your left, but you can just ignore that. Now that we're on the lower path, we're going to go under the bridge, and we can grab another item on the left. This is a color of Lumina. After that, keep going forward, and you'll see another Abbest enemy up ahead. Let's go ahead and attack it. This fight is identical to the last one, so we can use the same strategy. Gustav is responsible for killing both the Volester on the right and the Lancelier on the left. 3 shots are enough to take down the Volester. We'll use the last shot to hit the weak point on the Lancelier, and then a normal attack will be enough to take out the Lancelier. Luna is going to use 2 free aim shots against this enemy, 1 to destroy its weak point, 1 to do a little bit more damage, and then we can use the immolation skill to finish it off. While I was recording, I had to reload a previous save, and I skipped that last battle that we did, so now I just got up to level 5. That means you might be a little bit ahead of me in terms of the amount of experience you have, but that's not a bad thing. We're going to go forward and then break open these barrels so that we can grab the Resin item. This is an inflammable material that's a quest item, and we need to give it to that white Nevron in a little bit. But then what you want to do is to proceed along this canyon and go all the way to the end of it, where we can grab another item. This is going to be a Revive Tint shard. After grabbing the item, there's going to be a little offshoot of the path with this kind of big glowing rock here. That's called a paint spike. We can't destroy it yet, but we'll be able to do that later on, and we'll come back to do that. But for now, just go back along the canyon and then over toward the left, go up the ramp, and then stop when you get to the expedition flag, and we're going to use it. Starting off, we're going to go to upgrade attributes, and we're going to give ourselves more points into that might stat. Because we're up to level 5 now, we can assign 3 more attribute points, and that will raise both Gustav and Luna up to 15 might. After that, we can back out of this menu, and we're going to choose the fast travel option, and then we want to fast travel over to the abandoned expeditioner camp. Once you arrive, you want to turn around, and then you're going to talk to the big white Nevron.
Shine. I need to shine. Do you bring the light? Without light, I cannot follow where she leads.
This will help. Give Resin.
Oh. Gone are the days when I wandered in darkness. Soon I shall shine. Light it. Help me shine. Make me complete.
A very precise shot, perhaps? Now we need to take a free aim shot, but we only want to hit the very top of his staff with what looks like a lantern. So shoot that and it will glow, and then you want to talk to him again.
Oh, this light. Long have I awaited this light. I must join the others. Lead me, mistress. For the future, shrouded in darkness.
You have to tell us more.
Will please, mistress. Capture light. My light, I caught only a glimpse.
What was that about?
I felt my mistress guiding me. I could almost hear her. I must have more light to understand what she asks of me. Shine. I need to shine once more.
What did it mean by light? Let's keep an eye out for other Nevrons like this one. We might learn something.
Well, that's one Nevron side quest completed. Let's head back over to the expedition flag and we're going to learn some new skills. So we'll go down to the Learn Skills option. Starting with Gustav, we're going to go one spot down from where you start, and that will show you the Powerful ability. And what this does is it applies the Powerful status effect to 1 to 3 allies, increasing the damage they deal for 3 turns. And based on how many quick time events you do properly, you can get up to 2 overcharge charges. We also want to learn a new skill with Luna, so let's go over to her, and then we'll go over toward the left until we can find the Wildfire ability, which deals medium fire damage to all enemies, and it applies 3 burn. Now each of our characters have 4 skills. You can have a total of 6 skills equipped at once, and you can swap them out and put them into different orders if you want to. But we're good for right now. Let's go ahead and use the rest option to get all of our health back, and then we're going to use the fast travel option once again, and we want to return to the indigo tree. Once you arrive, just take a few steps forward and you'll get into another boss fight.
Fuck. It's big.
Putain de merde.
Now we have a boss fight against Évêque. If it casts a spell, you've got to be careful about the timing. It will attack one character twice. You'll see 3 spikes come on the ground. You've got to dodge that 3rd spike, and then it attacks both party members at the same time. Some enemies have shields that protect them. Each shield completely blocks 1 hit. So you can see he currently has 3 shields up, which means we can't do any damage until we hit him 3 times. 1 free aim shot to his heart will be enough to take out 2 of those 3 shields. We don't want to use any of our skills because it's just going to block it, so instead we can just use a normal attack to regain 1 of those AP and we'll break the shield. Now that the boss has no more shielding, we can go ahead and start doing damage with Gustav. So let's go ahead and use our skills, and we'll use a marking shot to inflict him with that mark status effect. If the Évêque does a normal attack, it's going to put its arm way back and then pause, wait till you see the arm start to move forward, and that's the time to dodge it. Now with Luna, we want to choose skills, And then we'll hit the R2 button to go over toward the right where we can select Wildfire. It does medium fire damage to the enemies with 1 hit, and because the enemy's marked, will do additional damage. Be careful with these quick time events though, because if you mess it up, you'll actually end up hurting yourself, which makes it a riskier spell to use. It's Gustav's turn once again, so let's go ahead and use his skills. This time we're choosing Luminaire Assault to start building up our overcharge charges. Sometimes Évêque will feel threatened, and it's going to want to summon some minions to help it out in battle. And now it has 2 Abeests to help it out. Here comes another physical attack. Again, it's going to do a big pause, wait for those arms to start moving, and then you can dodge. So with Luna, we're going to go into free aim mode, and we're going to attack the Abbest on the right here. We'll attack it a couple times, and now we're completely out of AP, as you can see, which means we can't use any skills to do anything to this enemy. However, if we use one of our normal attacks, and we want to target that Abbest that's already injured, we can destroy it, and thanks to our Pictos, we now gain more AP back, so she's up to 4. She got 1 for doing a normal attack and 3 additional for defeating the enemy. With Gustav, we're going to attack the Abbest on the left normally, and then it'll be the enemy's turn to attack. Let's go ahead and just make sure that we dodge these attacks, and then we're going to get our turn again. Now Luna has 5 AP, and so we can go into our skills, and we're going to use the Thunderfall spell, dealing medium lightning damage to random enemies 2 to 6 times.
Lightning strike.
That took out the lesser enemy and did some decent damage to the boss. And now to finish it off, we're going to use Gustav's overcharge ability to finish the fight. There you go, it's a pretty quick and easy battle. It took just under 4 minutes, and I barely missed out on getting that bonus experience because I did get hit once.
Celebrate later. There'll be others. We should be safe up in the tree.
Yeah. Putain, nobody.
Wait, there's a message on the wall. Took mile to the weird corals. Head north, look for a door inside a hut.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't make sense. Who would have written this? It sounds like an expeditioner, but everyone knows to sign their messages.
Yeah, but they might have been in a hurry.
I don't know. Doesn't sound like anyone on the team. What if it's a trap? The man on the beach?
It's a lead. Our only lead. Whoever this is knows Mael. We have to go.
No. Not yet. Protocol is to regroup at the rally point and wait 3 days. This message feels off. If it was an expeditioner, they would have stayed here. Everyone knows the protocol.
Right, but they may have been in danger. Maybe this location has been compromised. Things change in the field.
There's a reason.
Protocol doesn't cover every contingency. You know that.
There's a reason it's protocol. We designed it to yield the optimal result in the vast majority of situations.
Was our entire team dying part of that optimal result? Look, I'm going after Maya. Protocol also states, never move solo. I'll let you choose which protocol to break.
After the cutscene, we get a new trophy called Spring Meadows for making our way through the Spring Meadows area, and we also got a new Pictos called Cleansing Tint. If we heal ourselves with an item, it also removes status effect from the person being healed. Before going through the big portal in front of us, we want to turn around. There is a golden rope on the left side that just takes us back down to the previous area, so we're going to skip that, and instead we're going to keep going along the path over toward the left, and then we're able to grab an item off the ground here. This is going to be a new Pictos called Empowering Attack. Gain powerful for 1 turn on base attack. Well, we happen to have a free Pictos slot on Gustav, so let's go ahead and open up our menu. We'll choose Gustav, we'll go down to our open Pictos slot, and now we're going to equip Empowering Attack into that empty slot. And remember that we're not only getting that cool passive ability, but we're also increasing our stats like our speed and our critical rate. Now we're going to turn around, and we want to stick over toward the left-hand side, because as we run along the cliff, behind the large tree is going to be another golden rope that will take us down to a lower area. When you get to the bottom, you can turn your camera until you can see where the path widens out, and then you just want to run along the brightly colored flowers until you get to the end of the path. And now we can pick up the purple item. It's going to be a color of Lumina. Once you've got that, you can go back along the path until you can take that golden rope back up to the upper area. Turn left a little bit, and then you're going to run along the path toward the left. Just keep going all the way through until you get through that portal, and that will take you out onto the world map. Just ahead of us is an enemy. Let's go over there and fight it.
So, the message said head north to the weird corals.
And a door in a hut.
Don't forget to use the first strike ability to give yourself an advantage. It even works out on the world map. Now we have a fight against an Abbest, a Portier, and a Volester. With Gustav, we'll use our free aim mode and start by attacking the Volester on the right. We'll hit him 3 times, and that will be enough to barely not kill him, but that's exactly where we want him to be. We'll then attack the Abbest on the left, and follow that up with a normal physical attack against the Abbest. Now with Luna, she gains AP when she defeats enemies, so let's go ahead and take out the enemy on the right, and that will give us 3 more AP, and now we can attack the enemy all the way on the left. I probably just should have used a Thunderfall to take out the enemy and damage the Portier, but I can just use a normal attack as well to finish off the Abbest. After that, we just have to dodge one of the Portier attacks, which is pretty easy, and then you'll see that thanks to Gustav's new Pictos, we get a new buff, the Powerful buff, which amplifies the character's damage by 25%. Gustav has 2 AP, which is just enough to use a marking shot, so let's go ahead and use that. And now we can have Luna attack its weak point, and that will do bonus damage thanks to the mark. Now it looks like the enemy is going to attack next turn, but what I can do is use Ice Lance, and that's going to inflict slow on it and actually push his turn back. That's going to allow Gustav to attack, and then the enemy will be defeated before it has a chance to do another round of attacking. With that battle over, we get some pretty good rewards. Starting off, we did get an upgrade to Luna's Lighterim weapon. It's now gone up to level 2. And we also were able to master some of those Pictos, Augmented Attack, Burning Shots, and Dead Energy, because they've been equipped for 4 battles. After the fight, we can go to the nearby boxes and pick up a color of Lumina. And then we'll head over toward the left-hand side. There's a bit of a canyon over on our right, and eventually we'll build a bridge over it, but for now we just have to run over toward the left past the buildings that have sunk down into the ground. If you want, you can also run while out on the world map. It works the same way as when you are running through a dungeon area. As you go along the path, you're going to see a big red portal. We don't want to go into that. Instead, we want to turn over toward the right, and just around the corner are going to be a couple enemies. Let's go ahead and fight them. This battle consists of 1 Volester, 1 Lancelier, and 1 Abbest. Starting off with Gustav, we're going to use that free aim mode and we're going to shoot the weak points on all of these enemies and destroy them. We'll then put 1 more shot into the Volester. Now we'll do 1 normal attack against the Abeest. With Luna, we're going to use her free aim mode to shoot the Volester a couple times. That'll take him down, and then we'll attack the Abbest on the right. And let's finish him off with a normal attack, and we'll be recharging our AP.
Danger.
The Lancelier attacks, and we know his attack pattern well enough at this point that we can easily parry him, and then we can take him down with just the counterattack damage. Thanks to the no damage bonus, we got both Gustav and Luna up to level 6. After the fight, we're going to turn back toward the left, and there's going to be a purple item on the ground. Let's go ahead and pick that up by these boxes. That's going to be another color of Lumina. After picking that up, we're going to turn around, we're going to run past where those enemies were, and keep going along the path until you get to what looks like a large statue on the left. Now turn left and start running over toward the east, and then you'll get a prompt about camping. You can access the camp at any time from the continent, just press the down directional button.
It's been a long day. We should make camp.
I'm sorry about earlier. The beach was not your fault.
No, it was. I convinced Alan to land there.
So, we can rest a bit? But, the moon is bright. I want to keep moving.
Have you learned nothing from the beach?
No, I am not leaving Mael alone a minute longer than I have to.
But right now, it's just the 2 of us, and I don't want to bring Mael your corpse. We have to think every step through. The man on the beach, you saw what he did. But more than that, you saw his face. He must be, what, 50? 60? Yet he survived the Gamage. We don't know who we're dealing with. We lost everyone in an instant.
Exactly. He killed us all so easily. He doesn't need to fake a message.
Lucien died to save me. And Tristan, Margot, they all... I am not letting Mael die out here. I'm taking her home.
What? No! We have a mission!
Oh, fuck the mission! Fuck the mission, Lune! What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take down the paintress, just the 3 of us? My gun and your sparks?
I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward.
You swore the oath. When one falls, we continue.
Yes, I know.
When one falls. When one falls. Not if. When. We knew not all of us would make it. But we continue. As long as even one of us stands, our fight is not over.
But I'm not afraid to fight. It's just Mael.
Mael swore the same oath.
I know that.
She chose her life. You and I... on, we always said the future of Lumiere is more important than
any individual life, yes.
Do you still believe that? Do you still believe that? Do you?
I hope I do.
Fuck the mission. Really?
Sorry.
The camp is very handy because many of the activities that we can do here are related to trophies. Let's start by going forward and getting closer to the campfire. In camps, you can rest and converse with your party members. To leave the camp, interact with the bonfire. We'll interact with the bonfire, but we're not leaving just yet. We want to choose Write in the Journal of Gustav's Apprentices. Gustav finds a spot where he can be alone. He spends some time writing in his journal. He writes about how dangerous the Nevrons are, but how beautiful the continent is. He hopes that one day his apprentices will read everything he wrote.
For those who come after.
Gustav heads back. Now let's choose to go to sleep. The next morning we're back out onto the world map and we can keep going forward along the path, but stick over toward the right hand side. You'll see that there's going to be a white spot over here. If we interact with it, it will build a bridge back to the previous area as a shortcut. We'll keep going forward and there's going to be a pile of boxes over here, and inside of them we can get another color of Lumina. Now we can turn toward the north and start running forward until we can get into the large formation of coral, and that's going to be our next dungeon that we want to go into. Let's enter Flying Waters.
'68. Elodie's expedition.
You know the commanders of every expedition.
Expedition 68. Their boat was blown into the air by a storm. Lumiere lost sight of it, but assumed they crashed on the continent.
And they survived. The storm, at least.
Alright, let's keep moving. We found the weird corals. Mael must be close by.
After the cutscene, we're going to proceed forward just a little bit and then go over toward the left. If you stick toward the left side, you can go back by all this seaweed or kelp, and there's a path that leads back to the end, and when we get all the way to the end, we can pick up a new Pictos. This is called SOS Shell. It applies shell when falling below 50% health. Now we're going to go back the way that we came, and we're going to leave this little tunnel, and we're going to proceed forward. As we get to the end, we'll see a glowing dome over here. Let's go ahead and get close to it to learn that this is a paint cage, which contains rare loot. To unlock the cage, you find the 3 locks and shoot them. Now let's get very close to the paint cage. We'll use our free aim mode and turn toward the left. The first lock is going to be up on the wall. Keep looking toward the left, and the second lock is on this whale's tail. And then turn left a little bit more, and you can see the third lock behind some seaweed. Once you shoot all three of them, you'll unlock the cage, which gives you the paint cage trophy, and you can also pick up the item.
Nice.
This is a Chroma Elixir shard, which gives us +1 to our count of Chroma Elixirs. From here, we're going to turn over toward the left, and we're going to keep running along the path. We can pick up some Chroma off the ground.
We can use that.
After getting the Chroma, you're going to keep going down the path, and eventually an enemy is going to pop out.
Wait. Nevron.
This is a different species of Nevron called a luster. The enemies in this flying waters area tend to be weak to electric damage, so if you want to use a marking shot to hit that weakness, otherwise you can just use one of your other attacks like the Lumiere Assault. You can use a normal attack. Now with Luna, we can either attack normally, we've got Immolation, Ice Lance, or Wildfire available to us. Either one of those is totally fine. We didn't quite pick up the kill with this Ice Lance, and now it launches into a fast combo. It can be a little bit tricky to dodge. It seems like it's coming faster than it does, so I just missed that. That's okay. And now we can just finish off with a normal attack from Gustav, and we'll move on. After the battle, we're going to head over toward the left a little bit. We'll go up the path, and then we want to stick over toward the left side. As you head down the path and to the right, be careful because there's a couple luster enemies that are kind of blending in back here. You do want to try to get that first strike if possible, and then that gives us the advantage going into the battle against these two luster enemies. Now, it kind of looks like their faces would be a weak point, but even if you shoot them, it doesn't seem to do any additional damage, so we can just save our AP. We're going to have Gustav use his Lumiere Assault to attack one of the enemies. And now Luna is going to use her Immolation skill. It'll do some decent damage, but more importantly, it's going to burn the enemy, and that way when it's its turn in just a second, that burn will activate and the monster will be gone. Back to Gustav's turn, we're going to just use a normal attack against this enemy, and that should take away about half of its health. And now we have enough AP with Luna that we can use Thunderfall, and that will do enough damage with its weakness to lightning to take him down. After the battle, we get our rewards. I happened to get 2 Chroma Catalysts to drop, and because we fought 4 battles with Empowering Attack equipped, we did master that Pictos, and now we can teach that Lumina to someone else. And speaking of Pictos, there's one nearby. It's called Marking Shots, and it gives us a 20% chance to apply Mark on free aim shots, which can be pretty useful. After picking that up, then turn around and head back along the path. We're going to run forward and then stick over toward the left. Now, if you look at the ground in front of you, there's going to be what looks like mines here. This mine right here is actually an enemy, so be careful as you walk up, and you can get the early attack. These fights are incredibly easy and give really good experience as rewards, so you definitely want to fight these guys. Just use your free aim shot to shoot the mine that floats above them. It's going to explode and do a ton of damage to the enemies, then just one more shot to each of them and they're gone. After that, we'll go slightly toward the right. There's going to be another one of those enemies up ahead, so let's go over and then get that early attack on him as well. This battle is just like the last one. Just go into free aim mode and then shoot each of those mines once, and then shoot each of the enemies once, and the battle will be over. After all the experience we get, we've got both Gustav and Luna up to level 7. After the battle, keep going forward and you can pick up a Chroma Catalyst off the ground.
This will be useful.
Then turn around, go back along the path and stick toward the right side. There's another enemy up ahead, but this fight's going to be a little bit different from the last two because this one includes a luster enemy. So what you want to do is to go into free aim mode, shoot the mine above the enemy, and then you can shoot it one time just to do a little bit more damage. And then we're going to empty the rest of our shots into the luster. Now that we're out of AP, we'll just do a normal attack against the luster enemy to take him down. And now Luna can take a shot against the remaining enemy and the battle's over. Let's keep going along the path and we'll stick over toward the right. You'll see an item on the ground, but be careful because we're about to be ambushed by some enemies. So as you approach, you'll see the mine on the ground there. That's another enemy that's about to pop out. And when they do, we can get that first strike on them. Here we have a battle against 3 of the mine enemies. All we have to do is to shoot the mines once, and they're all gone. And in just 8 seconds, we earned almost 1200 experience, getting us up to level 8. We're now free to pick up the item on the ground, so let's turn and then grab it. It's a Chroma Catalyst.
Nice.
And then we can turn back around and stick toward the right side. We'll go past this lamppost and through the tunnel.
Over there. A hut.
Slow down. We don't know what's inside yet.
Before going in the hut, circle around the back of it and you can pick up some chroma on the ground.
An advantage.
Now keep circling around. And on the right side, you're going to find an expedition flag. Let's go and interact with the flags so that we can upgrade our attributes. After choosing that option, we're going to once again dump our 9 points into the Might category. That's going to raise our total up to 24 points. And we'll do the same for Luna. Once you're done upgrading your attributes, you can close out of this menu, choose to rest if you want to recover any of your health. And then we're going to leave this expedition flag, turn around, and we're going to go up and into the hut.
Look, there's a door inside.
Seems empty. Let's go. Someone lives here. Where are we? This is...
And now we find ourselves in a very different area called the Manor, and we'll be visiting this place a few times throughout the course of the playthrough. But for now, we'll head over toward the left and use the Expedition flag, and this is where we're going to end part 2. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. I do hope that you're enjoying this video series as much as I'm enjoying this game and bringing these videos to you. If you do like the videos, please be sure to hit that like button as it really helps me out, and consider subscribing to join our amazing community and so that you can stay up to date with the rest of the videos in this series. I'll see you soon in part 3. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.